Welcome back. We continue right here. Bob Pompeani with you until 11 o'clock. Another big part of this game was right out of the second half kickoff. It was the Steelers taking the ball and marching 75 yards in 15 plays. And the big thing about that was time of possession. They occupied more than half of the third quarter clock. And when that happens, it really demoralizes another team, especially one like Baltimore, which needed the ball, and they didn't get it. The Steelers dominated time of possession. As I said, they dominated third down conversion, and they dominated when it came to plays in the red zone. They were 3 for 4, and Baltimore not so much. So that's your difference, and that's why they won that game. So we have a lot of people who did not get in today and like to get in now, so let's go right to them. Beginning in Bell Vernon, we have Nick. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hi, Bob. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure thing.
I just wanted to paraphrase the words of the great Chuck Noll. Levy on who?
Well, I wouldn't say that so fast, and I'm telling you why. Things can change quickly in the NFL, as you know. Remember, the Steelers were 0-1-1, and people were ripping out their hair around here. So what I'll say is that if he comes in, and he should come in to get this final year of service out of his situation so he could be a free agent, you never know. James Conner gets hurt, and everything changes, and then you're going to need a Le'Veon Bell. He has a big, high-price insurance policy, one the Steelers would like to pay, but he needs to get here to make that happen. All right, sir, thank you. Let's go out to line 1. That's Marilyn and Munhall. Hey, Marilyn.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I was wondering, besides the reception by Jesse James, there didn't seem to be much involvement of the tight ends today. Was that because of good coverage, or was that the game plan?
Yeah, I think, Baltimore is the #1 defense in the NFL, so I think, Maryland, they do, they know the weapons the Steelers have, and they've been using Vance McDonald quite a bit, but Jesse James, as you mentioned, came up with that big play, the 50-yarder, which he juggled, but he made. You go where the opportunities lie, and I don't think there were many of them in the past game when it came to tight ends. Vance McDonald had a couple of opportunities. I still can't believe the officials on the field took so long to look and make a call on the one that was clearly Vance McDonald made the reception, was down, ball came out. They called it at first an interception, which made no sense. They went to replay. It just took too long, and quite frankly, that doesn't need replay. They should make that call. It should be clear on the field, but it wasn't. So, hey, there are going to be days when tight ends are featured a lot. There are going to be days when Connor in the backfield is featured a lot, and vice versa, or wide receivers. They got a lot of weapons, and that's the nice thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers and good offenses in the NFL. Tony in Rankin is on the air right now on the sports call. Tony, go ahead.
Hey, Bob, how are you today?
I'm good.
Thanks for taking my
Thanks.
call.
Anytime.
Hey, my question is, over the last several years, we've been good enough to, make it to at least make it to the end of the playoffs and to the championship game at times. Do you think this is the year we're going to be good enough and elite enough to beat the elite team, whether it be New England or this year? I think it's going to be Kansas City. But do you think this year will be good enough? I think we will. I think our defense is good enough to make a difference. What do you think?
I think they may regret not making a deal for corner, although today I think the corners did fine. It just depends. Where are these games played? It would be nice to get the #1 seed for a change and have everything come here, although last year that didn't matter with the home loss to Jacksonville. But I think New England is a team that you don't want to go to Foxborough. It's been proven that most teams that go there do not survive, and that includes the Steelers specifically. Kansas City is real good. We've seen that firsthand. But I think the Steelers, they have a veteran group. They know what they have to do. These guys have been around for a long time, and I think that bodes well for postseason. Versus, now, Pat Mahomes has been terrific, and thank you for the call, but he would be in his first rodeo when it comes to postseason. It's a different kind of an animal there, and we'll see. You never know how things are going to play out. But the Steelers are a proven, experienced group, which should help them in that sort of situation. Let's go to Brad in Duncansville. Bradley, how are you?
Good, Bob. Just got back from my trip from Villanova.
Good for you. I hope it went well.
I took gold.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish I could give you something for that. Yeah, I knew you were going there for that competition, so all the best. I'm glad you won.
And I have a question. Do you think the Steelers are going to stick with Boswell?
Yes.
Because the people are hearing, they're saying, well, I don't see the Steelers going out and getting another. They might go out and get another.
Brad, I'm just going to throw this out as a promo since you brought it up. This is going to be one of our topics tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Panel is Andrew Filipponi. Yohe, who covers the Penguins for The Athletic. We have a lot of good Penguin talk as well. But no, I think, you know, those guys are all concerned. Me, I'm not concerned, only because I've seen enough of him over the years. Now, are you going to tell me that it's lock, guaranteed? Because kickers, you never know what you're going to get, even the best of kickers. And Justin Tucker's the best of kickers. And, you know, he missed one. That was an aberration because he never misses one. This has become a little bit of a concern because Boswell's missing them all to the right. But I think he knows what he's doing. He's a pretty confident kid. And I don't think you can sour on one season of a couple of missed extra points. I know they're big, and if it costs them a game, it will really become big. But I don't think they're in any position of thinking about anything other than believing in this kid. And I would too. You know, it's a long season. Guys are going to miss kicks. There are a lot of kickers around the league who've missed kicks. And that includes some of the best ones, as I said, in the game. Let's go to Art in Jefferson Hills. Hey, Art, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Bob. How you doing?
All right. What's up, man?
All right. Thanks for taking my call. It's about those Steelers, man. Why are we wasting time with that Ryan Switzer? He's a bum. He's no Amendola. He's no Wes Welker. He's no the other guy, Julian Edelman. Why are we wasting our time with that guy?
Well, I think he was here because of what he can do on special teams, and that's not really happened so far. They've put him in the offense a little bit more than I would like at this point, although he's a pretty elusive runner when he gets to the open field. It just hasn't worked out all that well. But I still think their hopes are that he can give the special teams a jolt there. They've been looking for somebody to break something open, you know, to get to swing field position in many critical games. And that's what he's here. That's why they acquired him. But you know,
okay,
we'll see. But I don't like him in the offense so much.
Yeah, me neither.
I like him once in a while, but not on a regular basis. But thanks for the call. Appreciate it, man. Let's go out to line one. That's Jeff in Whitehall. Jeff, you're on the sports call. Hello, Jeff.
This is Chuck.
Oh, Chuck. Okay, it says Jeff here. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Okay.
Chuck.
Hey, Bob, my biggest problem with the game today was 47 seconds left to the halftime, and the Steelers made a bunch of dumb moves that they could have lost the game.
They could have. There was a near interception.
What were they doing? Why didn't they just kneel on the ball and go in at halftime? They were very lucky to win that game, or at least not give the Ravens a chance to win.
I thought they were the better team. I thought they deserved to win, but I thought that was kind of a hairy situation. You're right to bring it up. Number one, I still would have tried to move the ball, but I would have thrown it down the field. Ben was under pressure, almost threw a pick, or it could have been a pick six, an interception deep in his own territory, and then came the controversial call, which shouldn't have been, with Vance McDonald. At that point, take a knee. But, yeah, you have 2 timeouts. I don't like to waste them. If he could have made one nice completion for 20-some yards, all of a sudden you're moving maybe in field goal range. I always like to take points when I can get them. We got to take a break. Shane, Rick, and Ray, you're coming up next right here live on Pittsburgh CW.